Welcome back to another episode of Growth Through Ganja Smoke with me, Miss Pearl. I'm going to get straight into this one. This episode is called Baby by Me and it comes from 50 Cent. This is my perspective on dating baby daddies. Bitches, baby daddies, I'm still curving. Yes, I live by this quote. I saw something on Facebook and it goes like this: study your person before you have a baby by them and study the family as well. Pay attention to how a nigga treats his kids, how he raises his kids. Pay attention to how often he gets the kids. Look at genetics. Look at him. Look at his kids. Look at his family. I remember this dude, he was trying to smash before his now wife got back into the state. And I was just like, nah. I had already made up in my mind years prior that no, I saw some of his family members, and then it was a no for me back then. Welcome back to another episode of Growth Through Ganja Smoke with me, Miss Pearl. I'm going to get straight into this one. This episode is called Baby by Me and it comes from 50 Cent. And I think Neo? I think so. This is my perspective on dating baby daddies. I live by this Bia quote when she said, bitches, baby daddies, I'm still curving. Yes, I live by this quote. I saw something on Facebook and it goes like this: study your person before you have a baby by them and study the family as well. Pay attention to how a nigga treats his kids, how he raises his kids. Pay attention to how often he gets the kids. A sign or symptom of a professional baby father: if he spends as little bit of time as possible with his kids, he gonna spend a little bit less time with your kids. Professional baby daddies like to keep a every other weekend schedule, most of them, because they're still trying to maintain this wannabe as bachelor lifestyle that's only existing in their minds. Ask about his baby mother or his baby mothers. Ask if they were in relationships. Ask about the situationships. Most professional baby fathers were never in a relationship with any of the women that they had kids with. Pregnancy is a turnoff for them. It's almost like a handicap in their eyes, and they can't really do with this person that they could do with a woman who's not pregnant. Go here, go there, go clubbing, go partying. Once a female gets pregnant by a professional baby father, you're on your own. Like, you're the true definition of you're on your fucking own. If a professional baby father says that the baby mothers are trying to control him, that's another red flag. Most of the time, she wants him to come get the fucking child. But he's already probably got another one on the way, or probably already with another female that he don't have kids with, and he needs to make sure that he is with her as much as possible. Ask as many questions as possible. Ask the nigga how would he describe his co-parenting situation or whatever with the baby mothers. Whether it's one, two, three, four, five, however many. When dating someone's baby daddy, you gotta pay attention to the pattern, the age gaps. She how old and then he how old and they buy the same one, and oh, okay. Because you might be caught up in the wrong shit. Now, I only date men who have children because I have children. So for me, I would never date a nigga that don't have no kids because he ain't gonna understand. And that's a waste of my time. And then I don't need his family looking at me like, this bitch. No, I don't have time for that. Date somebody who has some shit going on just like what you got going on. And if you got multiple baby fathers, stop messing with these niggas that don't have no kids. Cause you got them out here looking stupid as fuck. Look at genetics. Look at him. Look at his kids. Look at his family. Look at cousins, aunties, all that. Look at the genetics, the genetic makeup of the people in his family. Because if you fuck around and have a kid with this nigga, your genetics is mixing. I remember this dude, he was trying to smash before his now wife got back into the state. And I was just like, nah. I had already made up in my mind years prior that no, I saw some of his family members, and then it was a no for me back then. So his now wife that he was trying to, with me, but yeah, they can do all that shit to fuck over there. Pay attention or ask if you'll be introduced to the baby mother or the baby mamas. Or if he doesn't want to introduce you, if like shit seem a little shady, a little too friendly with, him and some of his baby mothers, yeah, they might still be involved when you're not around. I don't know. Pay attention to how they interact for real. Now, my daughter's father, I don't want anybody else to know that I know this nigga. Now, with my son's father, we've known each other since teenagers. He over there, I'm over here, and we just, it's just about the child. It's always been just like that. You would have to let a nigga know your boundaries and expectations. Because when you're coming into a situation and your kids are getting involved and they like each other, they're having fun and bonds are being made, it has to be some type of boundaries, standards, or expectations put into place, just like any type of relationship. When my twin flame told me he only had one baby mother, I was damn near jumping for joy. Almost didn't even believe this shit. Because my kids don't look alike, and neither do his kids. It was just the craziest thing. And for me, I do judge a nigga a little bit based on how he interacts with his baby mom, because that could be me. That could be you, bitch. That could be you. Don't be afraid to ask a nigga how many baby mothers he got. I remember when I went on this date with this older dude. I'm thinking he just got one. Nah, he had a handful. And he still wanted more. I'm like, run it down to me. Let me know how many you got. We 10 years apart. Just let me know, what it is. When he let me know what it is, I straight up told him, I said, that is a lot to consider. And then we went on a second date so I could, make sure that I wasn't tripping, but it was just too much to consider. It was a no for me. He had 5 by 4 and he wanted more. And then the youngest at the time when, him and I went out was younger than mine. My youngest is 8 now. That child was like, I think he said like 4 or 5. And I was just like, and then I'm thinking in my mind, like, you want more? No, thank you. But this is why going on first dates and actually asking these questions, like, with like all that, what's your favorite color shit? Get to the real shit. Because when you have a kid already as a woman, people think you just ready to rock and roll with any and everybody, and it's like, no, that's not how the fuck this goes. And for some reason, females be so attached to baby fathers, and it's like, Slim, whatever you got in your drawers, if it didn't change the first several women, it's just as good as that fucking handbag you walking around with. Don't be afraid to ask a nigga how many baby mothers he got and why, and pay attention again to the age gap. You need to start calculating that shit up right then and there. How long were you with your baby mothers? How old is your youngest? How old is your oldest? Because niggas will just pop up with random kids. I seen this one dude. I saw that he had 2, and then just randomly another one popped up, and then after that another one was being born, and then I'm just like, wow. And then it was another parent that was doing the calculations like I was doing it. And then me and her made eye contact and she was like, yeah, he got like 20 kids. And listen, I'm trying my hardest not to laugh because where we were, it was a very quiet setting. So imagine, and I'm fried too. So imagine being in it and you just trying to hold it together. I think I did very well though. I think I did very well. Age gaps between children are very important. I know a nigga who passed because of his addiction to sex. Enlarged heart, to be exact. He left behind like 6'7" by like 6'7". He was getting one pregnant, and then when she was pregnant, he was over across the street with the next one getting her pregnant, and then so on and so on. And when I seen all the baby mothers together, it all look a mess. Hot ass mess. Hot ass mismatched mess. And it was a sad story because, again, he left all those kids here. But I feel like if God didn't stop him in his tracks, who knows how many more motherfucking kids he would have had. Like, we cannot be so irresponsible with sperm in our community because we don't have no problem really reproducing. Pulling out, when you raw dogging pulling out, is not a form of birth control. If a nigga lie about one kid, he gonna lie about yours. Don't be afraid to ask a dude, sir, do you want any more kids? Because if you got kids and then he got kids and then y'all trying to have a blended family, y'all need to be on the same page about that. Like, of course things happen outside of your control, but at least you can start off on the right page. If one wants more kids and the other one doesn't, just go find another baby daddy to date. Don't be afraid to ask a nigga how does he take care of himself. Because the way that a nigga take care of himself will be the way that he take care of you. So if he don't give a fuck about his mental, physical, spiritual, he ain't gonna care about yours either. Pay attention to how a nigga spends money. A lot of baby daddies, especially professional baby daddies, are very, very materialistic. They don't care about experiences with their kids. They just care about the latest, greatest Jordan this, Nike that, name brand this, name brand that, and the kid be fresh as shit going nowhere. So your kid gonna be fresh as shit, stationary as a motherfucker. I mean, just think of what's important to you and then ask that person those questions. If you don't have no kids, if he got like one, then maybe, but if you don't have no kids, just don't fuck with the nigga. Just keep it fucking moving. Get with somebody who got the same shit going on that you got going on. Because it makes it a little bit more easier when you're dating someone you have some shit in common with. And some shit that you actually like about them. And then you can actually, have a real attraction to the person. Don't be just dating. And the worst thing about dating baby daddies is the bitches that compete for a nigga, or the bitches that just settle for being the woman down the street. I'm going to leave you with this last story. I heard a story of a nigga that had two women same time. So when one would get on his nerves, he would go stay with the other. And then when the other one would get on his nerves, he'd go back to the other one. And then when one was having a baby one week, the other one was having a baby the next week. And I'm like, it can't be no sausage party that good for me to settle for that bullshit right there. Because, bitch, if we ain't living together to split these bills and to split the cost of all these bubblehead ass kids, then you don't need to be around. Now, let me tell you, don't let the baby daddies with the good sausage party fool you either. Because that can be blinding, but don't be rushing to have no sausage party with them either, just because y'all got kids. It's nothing wrong with waiting a little bit, because some shit you might not see in the first week, you might see in 30 days. You might see in 60 days. And then you add another body to your body count for no reason. So I don't know. What the fuck? What the fuck do I know? All right. Maybe you got something from it. Maybe you didn't. Maybe be back next week. Maybe you won't. Either way, this has been Growth Through Ganja Smoke with me, Miss Pearl.